Free Comic Book Day has been a staple of the comic collecting hobby for over 2 decades. With the rise of comic book movies in the early 2000s, Diamond Distribution set out in 2002 to start the initiative that would unite retailers and publishers to bring new stories to a new generation. And though this sounds all well and good, there's been a hidden cost to all of this, and we're seeing it play out right now in front of our eyes. So the industry has been shaken by the news that Diamond Distribution has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, though this news came as a shock to nobody. Publishers have been pulling out from Diamond one by one, and with the recent closure of a major distribution center, comic shops have been seeing major delays right before the holidays, and this is not good. And a lot of people who are critics of new comic books like to point the finger at some of the current stories that are coming out right now and kind of blame that for the failure of comic shops and Diamond. But at the center of all of this, there is a glaring issue that has been hemorrhaging money from both Diamond and the retailers that they claim to be helping. And that's Free Comic Book Day. Because, as we all know, nothing is truly free. There's always a cost, and the retailers wind up being the ones paying it most of the time. The retailers still do have to pay for the free comic books, and they're often expected to front some of their own money to put on these big events to bring new people in. And a lot of the times they don't see the return on that. And they don't feel encouraged to really do that. Brandon Schatz, who was a former comic book manager, actually wrote about his experience when he approached the owners of his comic shop asking for a bit of a budget to put on a free comic book day event. And he was always shot down and told, no, that day doesn't make any money. And through social media, through word of mouth, he was actually able to accomplish it, and the sales were up by 50%. And despite accomplishing his goal, despite the owners acknowledging that maybe he was onto something, he was not given the budget next year. Because he proved that he was able to do it without any extra money. Schatz also argued that the shops who do invest in Free Comic Book Day are mainly doing it in ways that appeal to existing readers and not really doing anything to bring in the new customers, which is the intended goal, to introduce new people to the stories and the environment. Sources have claimed that Diamond does intend to continue with Free Comic Book Day moving into 2025, despite operating at a loss every single year. And they are allowing other publishers to take part in the event, so even if Diamond does go under, we probably will see this continue on, but that doesn't really fix the issue that is at hand, and that's that this is the major reason that Diamond is filing for bankruptcy. You can only operate at a loss for so long without bringing in those new people. They're not succeeding in the goal that they've set out to accomplish. Diamond funds the promotion, the shops pay for the books, and that's not even including the extra labor that is involved, printing the books, packing and shipping the books, and all the added costs and the lack of enthusiasm from shops. With all of that combined, it's no wonder that these losses are finally catching up to them. And so I think the greater takeaway I want people to get from this video is that we're not going to save comic shops with free stuff. If we really want to save comic shops, if we really want to save these publishers, what we really need are more people like Brandon Schatz. People who are willing to go out there and do the work and share their enthusiasm. Do the work that the publishers and the distributors are not willing to do, and get people excited about comics. And that's what I think we all should be doing. As comic book fans, we can't rely on them. We can't rely on distributors. We can't rely on the publishers. And we can't rely on the comic shop owners. If we love comics, we have to be the ones to do it. And it's really a shame that someone like Brandon Schatz was almost forced out of the comic book industry because of something like this. And that's a shame. We need more people running shops like this. So maybe that's something to think about moving into 2025. If you are a shop owner, that's all. Thank you.